What's up, everyone? This is Rikk R Treat, and you are watching the pumpkin patch. Actually, the first pumpkin patch in about 4 or 5 months. So, hi, I'm still alive. Thanks for caring. Just as per usual, the regular check-in. Hope you guys are doing well during this ridiculous year. Pandemic and social unrest aside, things have been going pretty well. Still working, trying to get my private practice job a little bit more clients, and slowly transitioning out of my recovery clinic job, which is really exciting, also pretty scary. Also getting ready to get married in October, which is really exciting. So I'm stoked for that. Ryther's news, things are progressing. We're really close to being finished with our new EP. The mixes are, I don't know. Everyone makes mistakes, so I'm going to keep that in there. Really close to being done with the mixes of our new EP in one gulp. Thank you to all of you who have pre-ordered it. Right now the pre-orders are closed, but the pre-order for the bundle's closed. You can still pre-order the actual EP and whatever merch. We have back patches, pins, posters, all those good shit. Really stoked to let anyone hear it. And then we have a lot of other cool things that we're working on that I'm really excited to share with you once we're able to, because it's still under wraps at the moment. So today's video is a review for some of you know him, some of you love him. Very talented individual, Mr. Robby Bloodshed. Robby, I really appreciate you sending me all of the cool bundle. Dude, guys, car fresheners. Who does that? It's fucking awesome. I really love the aesthetic of all of this. Purple is my favorite color. So it's got that purple with some of that brown trim around it. Sent me a patch and some stickers as well, and a rad enamel pin. It's very Prince meets Queen, Prince and Queen aesthetic, and it's pretty cool, all about it. But does the music slap? It does. So, I guess, I'm stoked to have been given this early. It comes out, today is the 7th, today's Labor Day, and I believe it drops in a week. Let me make sure. So I'm pretty certain that's what it is. It comes out on the... Comes out on the 18th, actually. So the cool info about this album is that it features Mr. Jim, one of the original members of the Misfits. Maybe not the original, but one of them. And no surprise to me, at least, with the way that it sounds, Robby is sponsored by Brian May Guitars. Brian May is the phenomenal guitar player of Queen, which really does make sense with a lot of the sonic direction and visual direction of this EP. Aside from that, I want to give a big shout out to Marcus Hyde. He is the main drummer on all of this, but he also, it looks like he helped produce / master it. He didn't do all the work, but he did some of it, and good shit, man. with that being said, gonna go through some of the standout tracks and yeah, do my thing. So the album is called Running Out of Time, and the first track is the title of the EP, or the album rather. And just right off the bat, it's very arena rock, Queen-esque. Sorry, it's fucking hot. There's a heat wave going on right now. I'm gonna be melting and touching my face a lot. Very Queens-esque, very orchestral intro. The vocals are very reminiscent of, I'd say, part TB Monstrosity, part Nimvind, and part Bert from the Used. Somewhere kind of in the crosshairs of those mixtures, that's at least what I hear. There's a lot of rad accessories going on. There's keyboards, there's piano, there's just extra vocal stems that are happening. A lot of solos. This album is solo heavy. Robby really wanted to show off his abilities, and again, I think the help of this endorsement maybe either brought that out more or just made him want to show off a little bit more. Like, he's a rad guitar player, so why wouldn't he, you know? I would say the change during the drum solo, during the guitar solo is really cool. The thing that I like most about this is this album as a whole is there are really big choruses, and then the outros kind of deconstruct a little bit. Like, this one has this darker sort of descent as the outro, which is really cool. The track Everything, I noted, is very cool. It sort of has this quasi D beat, train beat sort of thing going on. And then there's some claps for the snares, which I really like on the second chorus. And then at the very end, has like this crowd audience participation piece that's going on. I don't know, I just like those weird nuances and dynamics that are happening. If you can tell by some of my videos, I really appreciate dynamics. And in this one's pretty interesting because it does, seeing that Robby started out in like the horror punk genre is really interesting to, and is you know, pretty well received from what I understand. It's interesting how he's branched so much from that, but will definitely still have a good response from the scene, you know. I think the music itself has gotten past that. None of this is particularly... There's one track on here that's a little bit more punk than the others, and everything else is arena rock, you know, Queen-inspired stuff. And I still think he does it really well. It's not, it doesn't sound like it's super out of his abilities at all. Like, the genre suits him well. The next track that I want to point out is called Euphoric. This one is a little bit darker vibe. The vocal delivery reminds me of Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw. I really appreciate that, just as far as the range goes. It has this like echoey gang chorus. We're not smiling, we're euphoric. There's something about that I just thought was really cool. There's like a build up to the solo, and there's another chorus. There's actually a second solo going on, which is really cool. And then it quiets towards the end, and there's like 1, 2, 3, and it says it again as like the final chant, which again I think is really cool, really dynamic. Seeing again that there is a huge Queen influence on this, he does a cover. I'm not huge on really trying to dissect a cover, because I think I don't know, it's harder for us to compare. I don't want it to be just comparison, right? But it's definitely worth listening to. And there's like a horn section in it that I think is really cool. Like I said, a lot of this has really big dynamics. Looking at the linear notes, it shows that Robby does vocals, backup vocals, guitars, bass, piano, organ, synths, accordion. He does drums on 3 of the tracks. And then you have Marcus Hyde doing drums and percussion, Jesse Nameless additional guitar, some backing vocals, Zombie Alex doing additional guitars, and then the guest appearances. But that just goes to show all of the amount of things put into this, all the work that's on there. I mean, I can imagine it being. It says that or Robby told me that this took about 2 years to put together, and I can only imagine, man. Like, there's so much that goes into every track, and you can really tell that a lot of love was put into this record. I really appreciate that. White Book, Black Book, probably one of my, I mean, all of these songs are great, but this is probably one of my favorite songs on it. There's like this spooky key intro. It's kind of big all the way to the verse, and then it kind of has these minimal verse parts, and it's like a little bit of a cabaret-esque in the attitude and the dynamics for it, in my opinion. Really, really cool track for sure. And then the last track before another cover, which is a G.G. Allen cover. Make sure that's on there. Which is a bonus track. I want to make sure that's a bonus track. Yeah. So that one's a bonus track at the end. But the song before that, track 10, is Red Ice. That's the one with Mr. Jim. So that is the track with Mr. Jim. It is called Red Ice. This one's a lot more punk than the rest of the album, which I think is cool that it ventures from the sort of orchestral arena rock, goes a little bit more back to the roots. And to me, it sounds like the Rosedales all over. In a good way. Like nothing's copying them or anything, but I get that vibe, which I really appreciate. They're a great band, and there's some like cool haze. Just definitely a fun song. So I don't have a rating system or anything, guys, but I'd say, you know, if you like big, tasteful, dynamic rock and roll, if you like Queen, if you're a fan of the Rosedales, Nimvind, Argyle Gouldsby and the Roving Midnight, some of TB's stuff with Blitzkid, I said that this is definitely an album that you should check out. I think it's pretty difficult for musicians to kind of branch out of their comfort zone. And I mean, I'm sure it's been kind of a progression for Robby Bloodshed. However, I think this is a big leap from what a lot of bands do in the scene. And so, very interesting, very well done, man. I appreciate that you're taking risks. And, you know, it sounds like you're getting the endorsement and the love that you should be getting, you know? Shit's fucking great. You're talented as fuck. So keep that shit up, man. With that being said, I don't know if I have anything else to say about all of this. Make sure that you get Running Out of Time by Robby Bloodshed on September 18th. That's in 2 weeks, y'all. Do it. All right, this has been Rikk R Treat, and you have been watching The Pumpkin Patch. Be safe, wear a mask. Black Lives Matter.